Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, welcome to our paper discussion presentation. I am Ahmad Rizal Saputra and my partner,
Dewa Wisnu.
we are studying in the Introduction to Bioinformatics Statistics course. Today we will be discussing a paper titled Development of an Integrated Predictive Model for Postoperative Glioma-Related Epilepsy Using Gene Signature and Clinical Data by Lee et al., published in PMC Cancer in 2023. Next.
Our second slide discusses the core problem this paper aims to solve. Epilepsy is one of the most disruptive complications for glioma patients. Between 15 to 60% of glioma patients continue to experience seizures even after surgery. This significantly disrupts their daily life and reduce their quality of life. The problem is that we do not fully understand the biological mechanism that cause some patients to develop glioma-related epilepsy. This paper was created because prior prediction models for postoperative seizures only exist for low-grade gliomas. No model had been specifically developed for diffuse high-grade gliomas, which have a very different biology and clinical course.
Next, the data and statistical method used in the study. The dataset consists of 208 patients diagnosed with THDG who underwent craniotomy at Beijing Tiantan Hospital in China. Gene expression was profiled using an Agilent microarray through the paper called RNA sequence, which is an important methodological inconsistency. And the response variable is postoperative seizures occurrence, binary yes or no, within 12 months. And the predictors expression of 623 differentially expressed genes identified by Lima, with 623 predictors and only 208 patients, ordinary logistic regression would overfit. So this is why lasso was used, applying an L1 penalty to automatically select the most predictive genes from the 623. Just 7 were selected. This gene signature was combined with clinical variables in the final integrated model with multivariate logistic regression and evaluated by ROC-AUC.
Our fourth slide presents the main finding. First, from 623 candidate genes, Lasso identified 7 key predictive genes, which then were used to calculate a risk score for each patient. The gene signature model alone performed well with AUC score of 0.84 on the training cohort and 0.75 on the validation cohort, indicating good discriminatory ability between high-risk and low-risk patients. When the gene signature was combined with clinical variables such as age, temporal lobe involvement, and preoperative GRE history, model performance improved substantially. AUC score rose to 0.88 on training and 0.85 on validation. This clearly demonstrates the added value of genomic data on top of clinical information alone. Biologically, the identified genes point to two core mechanisms underlying GRE. The first one is ion channel dysfunction, particularly overactivated potassium channels, leading to neuronal hyperexcitability, and second, immune system dysregulation, reflected in altered immune cell infiltration patterns within the tumor microenvironment.
Next, the critical evaluation of the study's strength and weakness. On the strength side, first, this is the first study to develop a gene signature predictive model for postoperative seizures, specifically in DSGG. making it a groundbreaking contribution. Second, the multi-layered analytical approach, combining Lasso, VGCNA, CyberSoft, and PPI network analysis, ensures cross-validation of findings across multiple perspectives. Third, the model is biologically interpretable, not merely a statistical black box. And fourth, it integrates genomic risk score with practical, easily measured clinical variable. And the weakness side, first and most critically, the small sample size of only 208 patients with just 37 seizures even severely limits statistical stability. Second, the retrospective design introduced survivorship bias. Patients who died within 12 months were excluded, meaning the model only applies to patients with longer survival. Third, and this is an important methodological inconsistency, although the paper repeatedly claims to use RNA sequence, the actual perform was an Agilent microarray, which has a more limited dynamic range and sensitivity, and no comparison was made with alternative machine learning approach such as random forest, XGBoost, or ElasticNet.
Our final slide addresses what could be done to extend and improve this research. First and most fundamentally, these models need to be validated prospectively on a larger dataset, not just one single hospital in China. This is essential to demonstrate that the model generalizes across diverse patient populations and healthcare settings. Second, as we propose in our slide, a randomized controlled trial comparing prophylactic anti-epileptic drug treatment versus a control group would be the ideal clinical validation of this prediction tool. To conclude, this study represents an important first step towards personalized management of epilepsy in high-grade glioma patients. With improvement in validation, sample size, and methodology, this model has a real potential to become a practical clinical decision support tool. Thank you very much for your attention. We are happy to answer any question in the comment sections.
Thank you.